founder and CEO of Automa Systems. I have a question for you. What does everything that you're eating, drinking, and sitting on right now have in common? It's all been on a truck. If you bought it, a truck brought it. The trucking industry brings in $650 billion in revenue, and Automa has an opportunity for a revenue of $50 billion by matching shippers to truckers and taking commission. There are three big problems in trucking. The first is empty trucks. If a truck is empty, a trucker is losing money. Human dispatchers have the pesky problem of needing to sleep for a third of their lives. And the marketplace is labor intensive. They still use phone calls, emails, and faxes. All of these problems result in a high overhead in trucking. The solution is to fully automate trucking. By using big data and machine learning, we can keep trucks full more often, fully automate dispatch operations, and automate the trucker-shipper marketplace. Taking a look at our product, we have a fleet management app with fully auto dispatch and manual override, a fleet map for truck tracking, a shipper app for quoting and booking, and a driver app for workflow management and truck tracking. What you see here is a schedule over the next 24 hours, which is updated every 10 seconds by our machine learning algorithms. We know where the trucks are, where they're going to be, where they're empty, and the load a trucker wants most. Talking a little bit about the team, myself, I have experience with machine learning and 8+ years of experience with fleet automation. Tyler Dunai graduated from UC Berkeley in computer science and was one of the first engineers at BigFix and was with them all the way through acquisition by IBM. We have a lot of great advisors, including Jack Godwin, who is on the founding team of DirecTV, and Ash Montana, who is the director of fundraising at AngelList. We received a $100K grant from the US DOT. Our product has facilitated more than 8,000 deliveries. We built a great partner at the Oakland Port, Oakland Maritime Support Services, which gives us access to 400 of our target customers. Our first milestone is to attain critical mass at the Oakland Port, then move on to Long Beach and Los Angeles. With a beachhead, we'll move into regional and then long-haul trucking. We're looking for a 500K seed round to build our team and attain critical mass at the Oakland Port. Thank you for your time.
And ended early. So there's two competitions going on here. One is so you can win the grand prize. And another is probably to get a meeting with one of these guys who might want to invest in you. So the first thing is, who would call them up for the first meeting? Anybody? You guys are tough.
I'll take a meeting.
Tough. All right. Why did you like them, Manu?
I think there are lots of domains where technology simply hasn't infiltrated those domains. And so I tend to like a case of where things they need to be shaken up, and it feels like the trucking industry probably needs to be shaken up, and so it would be worth taking a look at.
Yeah.
So.
What would get you guys to the next phase of making that call or suggesting him as a winner tomorrow?
I would say, one of the challenges, it's a very quick pitch, and I'm sure there's a lot more data and information about the company's plans that you didn't have time to express today. I think, looking through understanding the customer acquisition and how you're going to get the marketplace working, then it could be interesting. It just wasn't enough information yet. I do agree with Manu. It's big enough.
No problem there.
Thanks.
So I'd be interested in knowing whether there's a potential not just to service the fleet operators, but to disintermediate them in this, akin to how Uber has disintermediated taxi companies, and or vice versa, whether you are threatened by someone else who might be doing that versus what you're doing.
So that is the go-to-market strategy. So simply because owner-operators who are one truck and one driver, and they are a company in itself, similar to what Uber did in the limo industry, they are the easiest to convert because they don't have a big customer list, they don't have an established pricing model, and they're very easy to sit down with them, sign this paper, and you're done. And so then aggregating those many owner-operators under our umbrella is the way to get started. And then over time, we can use a strategy similar to Amazon with where we can give our software to trucking companies that want to adopt our logistics and pricing model, and then they can use it to build and expand their base, and it diversifies our portfolio and so forth.
Yeah, I think what would get me excited as an investor is to see you finding a way to drive an adoption cycle among those owner-operators where they viewed your app as the way to get that additional load or that additional business. And you could, if you had an efficient way to get that uptake, to get started, that would make it pretty interesting.
And I think it also helps, fleet management systems is an existing category to really hit right up front how you're different. Are you more of a sexy, marketplace where you ultimately, bring supply and demand together rather than a captive network, better managing and optimizing an existing fleet? So you end up being a big marketplace model with fleet management system optimization being the sort of the driver of it.
So I think the machine learning technology is to, for the owner operators who don't really care about the optimization of the fleet, but then it is used by us to manage our owner operators to make sure that we get them the best load for their job that also makes the most availability from our side. So we want to be able to serve as many shippers as possible, as best as possible, and so our machine learning technology can enable that among our owner operators in a fleet. And the reason you need a fleet management tool is because the problem requires reservations and isn't just a sort of basic on-demand model we've seen out in the real world. So you have to guarantee that a truck is at a place and time in the future, and that's a promise that you have to fill. And so a scheduling technology which schedule those truckers, guarantee that they'll be there on time, is critical in trucking.
So just one final, I'm looking forward to meeting with you and talking in more depth, but the thing that I would want to look at is more on how do you acquire people without having to go through a long, extended sales cycle. And the way that Lyft started was really around empty seats in the car. And the same way, if you're talking about empty trucks on the road and being able to fill those trucks, that's probably a good thing to look at. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. A great way to start.